What up, YouTubers? M53 here, and today we'll be installing the cylinder head on my Porsche 944 Turbo. Start by cleaning off the head and making sure there's no debris. And do yourself a favor and read your workshop manual so that you're following the proper instructions. Grab your head gasket and place it on the block. Then go ahead and grab your head and slide that bad boy right on there. This engine requires that we follow this tightening sequence, so that's what we're going to do. 15 foot-pounds of torque is what you're going to bring each one of those studs to, and then 90 degrees of torque angle 2 times. So, step 1, follow the tightening sequence to bring it to 15 foot-pounds of torque. Step 2, follow this tightening sequence to bring it to 90 degrees of torque angle. Step 3, follow the tightening sequence to bring it to 90 degrees of torque angle one more time. How does one of those torque angle contraptions work? It's a little dial that reads 0. You place it on whatever you're tightening, and then you turn it until the dial reaches your desired torque angle. In this case, 90 degrees. Now, the most important 2 steps on this entire process is 1, making sure everything is clean. Not only do you have to blow the head of any of its excess debris, but make sure you wash your hands, your face, and your hair, because you can be spilling debris onto your working surface. As you put each washer onto its stud, clean the washer, clean the thread on the studs, grab the nuts, blow them of any debris, clean the threads inside the washers. Just make sure you have as little debris as possible. Any opening, the intake, the spark plug holes, any opening that you might have on your head, cover it with something. In this case, I use tissue. But really, any type of debris can lead to some serious damage in the future, rendering all this work completely useless. Next, make sure that you're following the right instructions. This applies for any engine you're working on. This one is the M54-52. And this engine has a turbo version, a non-turbo version, different liter sizes. So anyway, you have to make sure that you're following the right steps. This one is bringing it to 15 foot-pounds of torque, then 90 degrees of torque angle, and then 90 degrees of torque angle. There may be many iterations of your engine, so make sure that you have the right instructions for yours. Besides that, the next most complicated thing here is using a torque wrench and a torque scale thing, and that's pretty straightforward. You move the meter so that it reads 0, and you turn it until it reaches your desired torque angle. I don't know how much more straightforward that can get, but there's also one other thing that is very important in this. If you've had your head machined and the mating surface of it resurfaced, they've had to take material away, meaning that you'll need a thicker head gasket. Check with your machinist to find out how much material they removed, so you know how thick of a head gasket to get. If you don't do this, you could also wind up with less than desirable results. And I assure you, you don't want that. You've put a lot of work into making sure that your engine turns out good. Don't be careless towards the end. So you're going to do this, at least for this case, you're going to bring all these nuts to 90 degrees of torque angle, and then you're going to follow the tightening sequence and do it once more. As I said, make sure everything is clean, make sure you know how thick of a gasket you need, and make sure you're following the right instructions. Other than that, this is easy peasy. Make sure you check out some of my other videos. They're pretty cool, and we'll be going out on different drives on this engine, or at least this car, in the future. Like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, ask me questions. If there's anything that you'd like to see in particular, comment it below. Thank you for watching this video, and do what you do.